there's less than 1% penetration. And that's a fact because I can't spend Bitcoin here. I got to still spend US dollars or MasterCard credit or, established credit. Any one of these stores, there's no penetration in the real world. But there's a $27 to $800,000 increase in investment in this space. But there's a 1% penetration in the real world. So what happens when it gets 5% real world? When more people can spend their cryptocurrency at the store, at the restaurant, on the airplane, which is why we came to Amsterdam, because there's a city out here where the whole city is cryptocurrency friendly. And this is an example of what's going to happen to the rest of the world. And we think that if you get in now, when the value spreads, when the accessibility spreads, you'll be sitting on the right chair. And, being out here further brought that to my attention, reinforced my belief in it.
And here's Nipsey Hussle here, the late Nipsey Hussle, talking about Bitcoin. Back in 2017, the price of Bitcoin was below $4,000. People thought it was expensive then. It's about 90K. Bitcoin's still not expensive. You can still get into the game. If you see the vision and see where this is going, it's an opportunity you don't want to pass up. With that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. Once again, coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. Before we get started, check us out at Bitcoin Bros 101. Once again, all of our e-learning social links, our premium Patreon pass. You can find this in the description below. Right here, if you want to join our Patreon, we're giving alerts on there for some plays that the Bitcoin Bros are taking, and we're giving alpha there every single day as well. Join the community. If you want to get into the stock game in the TradFi world, we have a MooMoo link for you for 15 free stocks. You can get valued up to $2,000 each. Why not get some free money? Updated news. Elon Musk just endorsed Howard Lutnick for the Treasury Secretary. And one thing to note about Howard is that he holds hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin. So it seems that there's a lot of government officials in the U.S. that are just turning to Bitcoin. Current time of this recording, Bitcoin's coming in right below 91,000 at 90.6K. And what do we see? What do we anticipate in the chart? So look here. We got these Elliott waves drawn for you. This is back where the market actually bottomed at. But we actually didn't start this wave sequence until we had one more retracement and put in that higher low. So here's wave one, and then right now we are in wave three in this particular leg. We haven't had that blow off top yet. Here's the peak of wave three. It could go up to 100, 105, nobody knows. But you see wave one, pullback of wave two, wave three. This could be the pullback of wave four. Then we got to complete this third leg with the fifth leg, and then we'll have the fourth leg macro pullback. And people will be calling for the top here. There'll be a pullback in the market, and this will be a buying opportunity because then we'll have that fifth leg, that blow off top. And that fifth leg also will have 5 waves as well. It could have wave 1, wave 3 being the most bullish, and wave 5. And we're not saying this is a technical target for 145,000. A lot of people are calling that 140 to 160,000, but this is how we see it. Looking out on the macro. So we're on the daily now. Let's go to the weekly. Going to the 1 week, and if we zoom out on the charts, you can see that this leg is actually a part of the bigger fifth leg. And we've been sort of making this since 2018. Wave 1 started late 2018, early 19, came up to about 13.8, had that pullback, had the third leg run up. This was an irregular flat ABC correction, bottomed out last October of 2022. We've been stair-stepping our way up into this fifth leg. So right now, if we zoom into this fifth leg, what do we see? We see that right now we are in leg 3. This is leg 3 of the macro fifth leg. And then we're gonna have that fourth leg pullback, then the blow off top. Are we gonna go up to $250,000? That's definitely in the cards, possibility. MicroStrategy closed at 340, close of business on Friday. So if we know Bitcoin's gonna go up to 100 to 110, MicroStrategy's flywheel's gonna continue. So we could see a $400 MicroStrategy before the year's out or higher, depending on how bullish these charts get. And is retail all the way back yet? Well, looking at Bitcoin and crypto on the Google Trends, we see an uptick in Bitcoin, but we're still on low levels. We're nowhere near back what we were back in 2017 or even close where we were in January of 2021. So right now, retail's eyeballs are starting to trend this way, but they're not fully locked in. But Bitcoin is a very important tool set. You need to understand why it can help you through the future, because it can make you feel more wealthy when everything else is going up around you as far as price goes. Mark Moss is weighing in on this. He was getting interviewed on Kiko, and he's weighing in on this. So let's hear more from Mark.
Here's a staggering statistic. In 2012, the median new home price in the U.S. was 50,616 Bitcoin. Fast forward to today, five Bitcoin. It's a hard shift to grasp. So, what are your thoughts on this interplay between real estate and Bitcoin holdings here?
Yeah, I think it's really fascinating. And I've said this, not to be callous, but, while the whole world is dealing with inflation and life is getting more challenging, it's getting more difficult because prices are going up so fast, faster than the rate that their wages are going up. And not to be callous, but I said, everything's getting cheaper for me because I start measuring everything in Bitcoin. And it really goes back to that bigger topic we started with, where I said, if you start to understand that it's the denominator, the dollar, that's that one that's inflating, and you start to value prices differently, you start to understand that, sure, the U.S. median home is whatever, $500,000, but it's also whatever, 1,500 barrels of oil, and it's also, 1,000 ounces of gold, and it's also 5 Bitcoin. Everything is measured in different things. And when you start to understand that, you go, well, I can personally change my unit of account. I can personally start to use Bitcoin as my unit of account. Now, we know that since for the last 4 years, Bitcoin is doing about 55% a year. So if I say, hey, I'm going to price things in Bitcoin, and because it's going up by 55% a year, then any investment that I make needs to beat that. That's my new hurdle rate. If you start to do that, then the whole world starts to become much more simple. Well, shoot. So you're saying that I could just put my money in Bitcoin, it goes up by 55% a year, life gets cheaper for me, and then I can focus on my zone of genius. I can be the best brain surgeon, the best attorney, the best doctor, whatever it is. And then I can change the world. I can bring value. I can make a lot of money. And then I just save it over here in this asset. And so that's this correlation that we're seeing. Now, of course, you need to have a little bit of a long-term perspective because Bitcoin is volatile. It is going up and down. I wouldn't recommend putting your rent money in there for next month or your grocery money. But if you have money that you can set aside for a couple of years, then you'll see that number go up. Now, one more thing I'll add to this that's important is that back to these billions of people around the world, 75% of the people in the world today live on less than $10 a day. Now, these people don't have enough money to buy property. They can't buy the house, the building, the business, whatever. But now Bitcoin gives billions of people a way to own property. They can buy $1 worth. They can buy $5 worth. And it gives everybody a way to now own digital property. So whether in America or any other country, you can get into this revolution.